Hello, my name is Kaylee. I'm a third-year medical student currently doing my clinicals in the US. And today we're going to be going over what's in my white coat. So I am trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by my birthday, which is March 1st, because that would be awesome. It would be the best birthday present ever. So if you could be part of that, that'd be awesome. Like, share, comment, subscribe, especially if you actually like this video. That would be awesome because I make content all the time. And yeah, so without further ado, let's see what's in this bad boy. So this is her in all of her glory, my white coat.
Wow.
It is figs. There we go. It is a figs white coat. My school did give me a regular white coat, but I just saw how many pockets this thing has, and I was like, oh yes. Like, it has pretty big pockets. Like, this is huge. And then it has like another zipper pocket, and it has a pocket. It even has a picture of your stethoscope, and then it has my stethoscope, and then it has like one for your cash and your headphones if you want them, your glasses. It has this great little pocket here. This is another big pocket that I keep my book and my phone in, and then this is another pocket where I keep some, like, a snack, and then also this just in case I feel like my breath is nasty and I'm around people. And then this is where I keep my tape, because you always need tape, and scissors are also in there. So yeah, I'll take everything out and show you exactly what I have more close. But yeah, this is her. I love her, and I got my name on her. Lovely. So yeah. So our school did get us, some white coats, but I felt like it was a little raggedy, and I just wanted to look really professional, especially when you're in clinical rotations, you need that letter of rec. So this was like $100, and obviously no sponsor, and I don't really support figs in any other way just because of the whole DO. Like, the DO held the book that said for dummies, blah blah blah. So I don't really usually support them, but I had gotten this just for the pockets and everything. But I don't buy any more scrubs. I buy scrubs from a place called Just Cause Scrubs, which is actually a beautiful place where 50% of the profit goes towards a charity of your choice. So that's where I buy things now. But yeah, this was my one crazy purchase, and yeah, let me just dive into it. So first up, we have my otoscope and ophthalmoscope combo. So so this is like the actual thing, and then it's changed, like you can change it for this or for this. This is like to see into the eyes. This is to see into the ears. I never really had a use for it, I guess you would say. Not use, like you always have a use for it, but I never really used it until I got to pediatrics, and now I have to use it like crazy. So I have to keep it in my pocket at all times because you always have to look in the patient's ear. You always have to look in their nose and throat. You don't really look in their eyes very much. It's more important to have like the otoscope instead of ophthalmoscope. But yeah, this is the first time I'm really carrying this around, because before you never really looked into patients' ears. I didn't really, because I've only dealt with adults before, and none of them really came in for earaches. So this is really the first time. And that tends to be the case for a lot of things, like a lot of rotations, like based on your rotation is what you will have in your white coat. And you always, always, always want to make sure that you have something to write with. Honestly, it was almost disrespectful if you didn't have anything to write with. Like, a lot of times attendings would kind of look at you like, why aren't you writing this down? Like, I'm saying something important, you're not writing it down, or they kind of expect you to fail, like you're not going to remember, or like it's always just way better to have something to write down. I also found it really useful for like being able to reference back, especially when I was confused, because a lot of times, like, you're dealing with residents and you're dealing with attendings, and they're higher levels, and a lot of times they're communicating to each other, they're way more advanced, and you're just kind of listening and you're like, I don't really know what you're saying, but I'm not going to interrupt you. So I would just write down like some of the topics that they mentioned, and then I would look it up later. So I think that's really good. Like, I wouldn't write like a full, this is super tiny, but it's great to just have, like, for example, the medications, like I would just listen. And a lot of times, like in psychiatry, they would use the generic name or the non-generic name, the brand name. So I would have to look it up, and then I would later find out, oh, okay, it's this. So they've been talking about this the whole time. Okay, cool, cool, cool. And then the next day I go and cool. And this is my little pocket medicine book. This was actually given to me by one of my favorite attendings. There she is, Divya Arya. Love her. She gave it to me because I have like the non nice one. Like this even has like pockets and everything, so I love it. And it's like hardcover. But I haven't really been using it just because like it's less convenient. It's very convenient in that it's in your pocket and it's everything that you really need. But because it's so condensed, I feel like my brain has a hard time processing it. So it would just be difficult for me. Like this isn't something that you can study. That's what I kind of bought it as like. That's what I was thinking it would be like. But if you're gonna use it as a study tool, just don't, because it's definitely not like a study mechanism. It's definitely like a pocket medicine. Like you're like, oh, I forgot. Okay, let me just look at it really quick. Okay, cool, cool, cool. It's definitely like for reference, for updates. It's not for anything like you can't sit here and study this. I mean, go off if you can. You're great. But I tried because I was like, oh, this is perfect. And I don't need to bring my iPad. I'm just gonna study this. But no, but it is good for that. I just didn't find myself using it that much. I mostly just write it down and then wait for later. And because even looking in this can be kind of seen as rude, I didn't really face any times where it was, but I just didn't really chance it. So I just would write it down in my little book and then I look at it later. But this is good for that. Like if you feel like you would like to have, I feel like everyone has it. Everyone has this book that I know really, and they do enjoy it. If anything, it's almost like like a emotional support animal. Like I have you, you're gonna help me during my rounding or whatever. So that's good. And I have my stethoscope. She's pretty beat up. This one is my Echo. I love her. Definitely no sponsorship or anything, but I love her because you turn it on. Oh, let's see. You might be dead. Yeah, no, she's dead. I have to charge her. But you would turn it on, it would blink like nice and white. I haven't been bringing this in because, pediatrics, they're pretty snotty and I just don't want to ruin. Okay, moving on. And then yeah, I have my phone in here. She is my friend. And also I feel like it's good to use your phone to the best ability. Like I have my Anki on here, so whenever I have free time, not as often as I should, and I even have my year-old on here. I have everything. And also there's some great apps for you to use. Like there's up to date that you can have. There is Hippocrates. There's a lot of apps on here that are just great for your learning. You don't have to always, you can be on your phone without it, being detrimental to your study time. This is actually a great way to keep the studying going. So I just grab the phone and go for it. I don't carry on an iPad or anything. Some people have their little iPad minis, and I've seen it fit in one of these figs. So if you want to do that, then go for it. And then, yeah, I showed you earlier, I have my tape. This was mostly for surgery. Like they would always just need tape, especially this specific tape because it's better on skin. So it would always be like, okay, where's the tape that's good for the skin? And then they look around and they would never be around. So I just always had this on me for surgery. But it's just good to have, like I'm not in surgery anymore, but I like to have it. Like when I was in surgery, I cared more about having like the scissors, the stitches, even like I had a bag at all times, but that was a separate bag whenever I was on certain services. But whenever I could, I would just make sure to have like the scissors. It's not sanitary to use on people though, so even if you have scissors, don't offer them. If like you're cutting off bandages, like make sure to get a sterile new set. But if you're just like cutting like little things, and you just look very helpful, and it's also more convenient for you. Like if no one in the room has something and you're able to pull it out, then you just feel really good. And like they look at you like, good job being prepared. So if you're around people all day, it's just a good idea to have. I just have my little to go toothbrush and toothpaste in here. And then I love this little pocket for that reason. Like it's so perfect to have your AirPods in here. And if you ever try to rob me, then my cash is right there too. I just like to have a little bit of emergency cash right there. And AirPods right there. They're in here. It's just a good idea to have. You never know when you have some time that you need to cancel the world out. What else? Oh, and then I always like to have a little snack just in case you're hungry. I get really hangry. Sometimes I'll have some almonds in there, you know, like I just always have some kind of snack in there just in case because you never know how long it's gonna go. I used to have, like sometimes I'll put like a water bottle in here. I'll put just anything because you just always want to make sure that you're taking care of your physical health, you know, because you're walking around all day and it's easy to forget to take care of yourself. So I just like that little snack. Sometimes I'll put a straight up water bottle in there. I don't think it looks, maybe it looks a little bit crazy, but I don't know about unprofessional. You know, I look pretty professional, okay? And then I like to have, like, I'm gonna put her on display. I like to have all of my pens looking beautiful because you are the supplies person always for the residents and for the attendings. No one has a pen ever. So I like to have like my good pens and I feel like it just makes you look like you're ready, you know? I don't know if that's just like me, but I feel like having a bunch of pens makes you look ready. So I always kind of have like my dummy pen and I'm just like, here you go. And then they're like, oh, they try to give it back to me. I'm like, it's okay, you can keep it. It's fine. They always want to like give back the dummy pen, you know, but if I give them my little my pilots, my G2 or G7 or whatever, then they're like, they just so happen to forget. I like to have my highlighter because sometimes they'll hand you paper, sometimes they'll print some paper and you just want to be able to highlight it. And that's true for like a lot of times I'll have a lot of paper folded up in here too and just kind of, you know, tucked away because it's like the patient list or it's whatever I just printed out for the day, which I try not to print out a bunch of stuff, but, or I'll have things like that I've written down like on a piece of paper that they've said that doesn't fit my little notebook. So yeah, that's all the things in my white coat. I would love to see what you have in your white coat. If you can tell me if you have any like cool things, that'd be awesome too. Like if you have any cool ideas that, or any, like even if you're not someone that has a white coat, if you have any cool ideas for me to put in my white coat. I love being prepared. I don't carry on a purse, but I do carry on a backpack. It's actually this one. This one is my favorite backpack because it's also a comfy pillow. I love her. I always bring her around. It's not very professional, but I just drop her off wherever I can. But yeah, look at her. She's gorgeous. So that's what I carry around usually. I like being prepared. I like having everything that I possibly can. This I have to wear all the time though, so I like to be pretty light. But if you have any ideas for something cool, that'd be awesome. Please comment down below what you have in your white coat. And again, if you have any ideas for me. And yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Like I said, I'm trying to get that 1,000 subscribers. So if you can, please try to help me get there by, you know, showing your support by liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing. And that will be very helpful for my channel. I love to make content like this. If, you know, it feels good, I feel like I'm helping, not so much this one, but other ones. It's kind of for my younger self, my younger non-doctor studies person. So I like to actually help like the people that, you know, are a little behind in my footsteps and it makes me feel good. So anyways, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope to see you next time.